This is the weekly world news, and for 2 years in the early 2000s, Sergio Aragonés drew a full-page cartoon for it each week. I've got my hands on them, and I want to share some with you. Hi, I'm Darren. These are my hands, and this is GrooTube, where we celebrate the art of Sergio Aragonés. Today, I am looking at Sergio's weird picture search that appeared in the Weekly World News tabloid from May 2005 into the end of its print run in August 2007. Now, I didn't know anything about Sergio's weird picture search until a few years ago when I stumbled across one or two pictures of them on the internet and then found out where they originated. Think of them like the puzzle pages that Sergio drew on the back cover of Epic Groo for the last couple years of the run. While the Groo puzzle pages varied from issue to issue, from mazes to quizzes, crosswords, and matching games, the puzzles he created where the reader was challenged to find items or characters hidden in Sergio's drawings are the most similar to what he created for the Weekly World News' weird picture search. For example, one of the Sergio's weird picture search images that I often see shared online challenges the reader to find 10 hidden bats in a cartoon of a vampire crypt. Pause the video now if you want to search for yourself. So that's kind of fun. Not only do we get one of Sergio's super dense drawings with lots of detail, but the picture search / puzzle aspect really requires the reader to inspect all the minutiae of Sergio's drawings. The themes that Sergio chose to draw on for his weird picture searches fit well with the bizarre and fictional news stories that ran in the Weekly World News. The Weekly World News made a name for itself with stories about aliens and Bigfoot, monsters, the supernatural, angels and demons, as well as death and the macabre. As you may know, some of that darker subject matter goes beyond not interesting me. Nevertheless, I've spent a good amount of time poring over each of his drawings for his weird picture search, because another really fun aspect of these pages is that Sergio hid lots of Easter eggs in his drawings. For example, Sergio, or someone who looks a lot like Sergio, appears in a large number of these drawings. So does Sergio's friend Scott Shaw, always found wearing a Hawaiian shirt with his flat-topped haircut. So let's take a few minutes to not only enjoy the challenge of Sergio's weird picture searches, but to appreciate his artistry. In this picture search, we are challenged to find 10 footprints in this image of Bigfoot stumbling into a Boy Scout camp. Take a close look and see how many you can find. Leave no corner of the image uninspected. Sometimes they're easy to find, but sometimes they can be quite elusive. Usually, once you get an idea for how he's drawing his particular images, you can spot most of them relatively quickly. But there's always one or two that make it a little bit tough. In this image of a robot baseball game gone mad, Sergio challenges us to find 10 baseballs. Man, look at that crowd scene. And the robots themselves, they're just made of so many parts. This is not one of his easier ones. But if you spend enough time with it, you'll probably find them all, and maybe a few of the Easter eggs. Are you ready for the next one? Okay, here we go. Here's a bizarre cartoon from January of 2006. We're looking for salt shakers as the hidden image. but overall the picture is quite dark. Aliens are luring diners into a restaurant buffet with the promise of cheap eats. But what's happening? They're becoming the meal for the aliens themselves. I don't think that you could pick up a copy of the Weekly World News without some sort of alien or UFO news story in it, so it's appropriate that Sergio is drawing using this theme. Here we have a witch's lair where they are brewing a potion. 10 broomsticks is what Sergio challenges us to find in this cartoon. Look in the cauldron, look on the bookshelves, look on the witches themselves, deep in the background or perhaps in the foreground. Once you find one or two, I think you'll get most of them. Keep searching. Have you got them all? It's time to move on. Here's a van load of hippies having a party in the forest. I wonder what kind of leaves Sergio has in mind for us to find in this weird picture search. Can you find Sergio in this drawing? Is Scott Shaw in here? Man alive. So much detail in this speech balloon. This really is amazing artistry. I love this kind of stuff. Leaves, leaves, leaves. They're not all in that psychedelic song. Have you got 10 yet? Because we've got to move on. For the last weird picture search I'm going to show you today, we've got an alien boxing match. 10 punching bags are hidden in the scene. You'll need a sharp eye to find them all, I think. Again with the alien theme. It was a staple of the Weekly World News. All right, time's just about up. Okay, so how did you do? Were you able to find all the hidden objects? Did you get the footprints? Did you get the baseballs? Or how about this? Did you notice that I chose pages where our favorite wanderer, Groo, was hidden on each one? In the 100+ picture searches that Sergio drew, Groo was hidden on 35 of them. Go back and take a look. See if you can find them. I'll wait for you. All right, here are some interesting numbers about these picture search cartoons. There were 122 issues of the Weekly World News printed between May 2nd, 2005 and August 27th, 2007, and they each had one of Sergio's weird picture search cartoons, except for May 9th, 2005, which they skipped. 4 times the Weekly World News used reprints of previous weird picture searches. So that makes 117 unique picture search cartoons. And as I said, Sergio hid Groo in about 35 of them. Now, you might be asking, Darren, how many of these cartoons do you have access to, and where did you get all these copies of Sergio's weird picture searches? Well, I hate to spoil the surprise, but I don't really have 100 copies of the Weekly World News. But in the spirit of that tabloid's obviously fictitious news stories and terribly doctored photographs that went along with them, I thought it might be fun to do a bad job of composting some covers on a local flyer. I did find a legitimate way of collecting these drawings online, but about a dozen of them are missing, and rather than just dumping a link to all of them, there's some more news and information that I want to share that might explain why I haven't. Besides the fact that Sergio created these cartoons for the Weekly World News, he retained the publishing rights to all the drawings, and Sergio's friend and fellow cartoonist Scott Shaw, has recently posted on a Sergio fan group that his intention is to have these weird picture searches collected and published. Scott says they will be reprinted. So, while I'm happy to share a few high-res scans in video form, I don't think it'd be right to share all of them presently. But hey, if you enjoyed seeing these fantastic drawings, let me know in the comments and share this video around. And more importantly, let Sergio know that you'd pay good money for a collection of these weird picture searches. I know I would. Oh, and if you didn't notice on your first or second viewing of these drawings, you might want to go back and look for Rufferto, Al Jaffe, Bender from Futurama, and the White Spy from Spy vs. Spy. I tried to pick some puzzles that had a few good Easter eggs hidden in them, and those are just a few of them. Well, friends, thanks for checking out this video and for appreciating the art of Aragonés with me. Make sure you're subscribed and be sure to turn notifications on. I don't want you to miss any of these Groo and Sergio videos I make, especially if I find an excuse to share a few more of these super rare, weird picture search drawings in the future. Take care, everyone.